Is AI going to make your digital marketing career obsolete? The fear is very real, but the short answer is, well, no, not really. We're going to dive deep into the current role of AI in digital marketing, its shortcomings, concerns, and the future of AI. Check out these branded images that have been made for some of our clients. What if I told you all of those images weren't 100% real? Well, it's true because all of those were either generated or altered by AI. Crazy, right? What's even crazier is that this voice isn't real either.
But this one is. Or is it? AI programs and software have become increasingly sophisticated and versatile in their usage. We're seeing implementation of these programs across the board in various departments, especially in digital marketing. But AI isn't really something new in the industry. Essentially what AI is collecting and analyzing large data sets to create something. It can really speed up the process of collecting and displaying these large data sets that would otherwise take people much longer to do. It's really a simple input and output based model. The quality of the input is going to dictate the quality of the output. With machine learning, however, this changes the game slightly. Now with the capability of emulating human thought patterns and the ability for predictive analysis, analyzing user data to predict user intentions. So although there were automated programs and softwares that existed prior, the advent of machine learning really just changes up the game. But we're not going to dive deep into the science of AI and machine learning. That's a topic for another video. ChatGPT and Bard. You've probably already heard these names by now. They are some of the biggest AI players in the game and are currently being utilized by SEO, PPC, design, and content teams for various purposes. Some of the most prominent uses are for idea generation, keyword research, and creative content and copy. A real-world example of using ChatGPT would be generating a GBP post. A GBP post has a certain character limit, and in order for it to be effective advertising, you'd want to include certain keywords and obviously make it on brand. Instead of it taking the hours it could take to come up with a good idea, you could put the requirements into ChatGPT and have it spit out 3 to 5 ideas for you. And then you can take those ideas to use as templates and infuse them with flavor to make them unique to the brand. You could also summarize huge pages of information for meta descriptions on Google, saving a ton of tedious time it would take to go through pages, read it, analyze it, and summarize it in a certain amount of characters. Video and content teams can also use ChatGPT and Bard to bounce creative ideas off of as well. For example, we can ask the system for 3 YouTube video ideas for search engine optimization, and it can spit out some ideas that we can use as templates to make videos for. There's also AI software like Memento, which will scrub through videos and pull out social clips for you and automatically add captions to them, or Autopod, which will automatically edit a podcast for you. Some other great software being utilized right now is generative AI from Adobe, Firefly, and Generative Fill. Does a client have low quality images for their website or GBP? Well, instead of using stock images and spending hours photoshopping it to make it on brand, you can now ask Firefly or use Generative Fill to produce an image that includes branded elements of the client, or to add a dog to a stock photo of a family. Say you have a roofing client who wants a photo of a damaged roof for some advertising. A little bit of Generative Fill and boom, damaged roof. Well, while all those sound like really great tools to use, there's definitely some room for concern when using these tools. Although these tools, and yes, that's all they are, just very robust, versatile tools, can save tons of time doing the small, tedious, menial tasks that would normally take hours to do, there is concern on how these tools are being used. An AI's output is only going to be as good as its input. If you give a directive of a vague input, it's going to give a vague output. It does not have the uniquely human ability of intuiting intention. It has to strictly rely on the data presented to it. With that being said, there will always be a need for a human to audit or fact check an output from AI. If departments were to be fully reliant on automated tasks from these programs, there would be tons of misses that would go unchecked. Doing so would be like having no humans at all in a car manufacturing facility. There would be no humans overseeing the machines, and if they make a mistake, superficial or mechanical, it could be pretty bad. The brand's reputation and image are on the line, and not to mention the harm it can cause a client if there's no quality control. Put this in the context of a digital marketing company where the brands of potentially hundreds of companies are in your hands, and suddenly putting everything in the hands of automated softwares and programs doesn't sound as appealing. Google announced that AI content is not against their guidelines. When generating content with SEO in mind, it's still important, of utmost importance, to still keep the end user in mind. And as long as the content is being generated with the end user in mind and not just for ranking purposes, it's still an acceptable way to use it. As we are seeing a rise in AI bots, we've also seen a rise in web form spam, low quality content that can be considered spammy, and risks with copyright infringement due to using images to generate ideas without permission of the artist or creator. So if the Google hammer ever comes down on AI generated content, it's important to make sure you're still making the end user at top of mind when creating content and not fully relying on AI. There will always be a need for a human touch, whether that be for quality control over content creation, fact-checking information that AI produces, or adding that special soul that an AI will never be able to fully replicate. We do work in the world of advertising after all, and what do all effective ads have? An appeal to emotion, an appeal to our unique human experience. A tool is only as good as its user, and a tool needs a user who knows how to use it. A tool can be used for good just as much as it can be used for bad. The user has this responsibility that should not be taken lightly. As long as AI is approached with the same mentality, it'll prove to be a great tool for many industries to use. And there will always need to be users to use these tools. So no, we don't think AI is going to replace digital marketing agencies anytime soon. But AI might come for you if you don't like, subscribe, and check out our other videos that we've done on digital marketing. We love making videos about this subject, and we'd love for you to come check out some of the other videos we've been doing. That's funny. Come on. Come on.